Okay, thank you.
Judge Meza, do you have a quick moment for Ray Martinez and I to approach?
Yes, you want to go in a breakout room or here?
No, just here, if that's okay.
Okay, what's going on?
Ray and I had a chance to confer on Mr. Juan Carlos Ruiz. At this point, I am not seeing that it's necessary for a contested MTR. I still want to look over more of these new number ones that have appeared for Mr. Ruiz and see if based on our review of them, we can come to some sort of offer avoiding a contested hearing.
How long do you need?
However long the court is willing to give me.
Well, if the defense was asking, I would just say 20 days is all you get.
20 days sounds fair.
Let me just pull it up. Hold on.
Yep.
Judge, for what it's worth, our preference is to state fully evaluate those new cases to see if they're any good before we go any further. And I don't know if they can do it in 20 days.
And see if maybe Mr. Hernandez is at the courthouse, or if Mr. Barcena can tell us if he's in the waiting room or something like that. I still have time. Just those two that show that Diaz and Terry, everybody else.
Types of assaults are we talking about, guys?
I think there is a sexual assault. Let me pull it up. And then it looks like some misdemeanor assaults as well.
Yes, sir. Okay. Sounds complicated.
Yes, Judge, it's a sexual assault and then an assault family second and then an assault choking.
All right, I'm gonna give you 60 days, but I really need an answer.
Sure, I think that's more than generous.
And he's on, so have those cases been filed?
They are now filed and visible in our system and in the county system. They are not indicted yet.
But he's on bond, Raymond. He's been booked.
He
He's
is.
on bond.
He
He
is,
has
Judge.
conditions.
Yes. Very stringent conditions, yes.
Very what?
Very stringent conditions.
That almost sounds like a disapproval of those conditions.
No, Judge. I'm just saying he's being monitored very closely.
All right, let's do.
March 24th.
No, I need to give them more time. They need time. Let's do May 5th. Only because one of those is a sexual assault or allegation of a sexual assault. I guys need to review it.
Judge, when you set his conditions and saw his bond, just to refresh your memory, you did have the opportunity to mag him. And I think you had the benefit of reading the affidavit for the arrest warrant. So,
Yes, I remember now. I do
Okay.
remember. I do remember. Thank you. He came with his family.
yes.
I remember. Never forget. Okay, let's go ahead. You have all your discovery. You represent him on the other cases, right?
I don't have discovery on the unindicted cases, I don't believe, but I'm certainly aware of the circumstances. I haven't read the affidavit.
State.
We will work on that.
It will definitely, by the time that I have reset this out to, an indictment will be due on the cases. So
Or a rejection, either one.
And yes, and in any event, at this point, whatever you have available for discovery should be tendered over.
Sure.
All righty. Thank you, guys. You're excused.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Judge.
Let's go on the record. Luis, you ready on Aragon?
Yes, Your Honor. State is ready.
Okay, let's go on the record, please.
Thank you.
Let's go on the record, please. This is cause number 2021 CR 8179W and 2018 CR 0255. The State of Texas versus Julia Aragon. Attorneys, please make your announcements.
Yes, Your Honor. Luis Echeverria for the state of Texas.
Roberto Garcia for the defendant.
Ms. Aragon is present in the courtroom. Go ahead and tell me your full name.
Julia Anastasia Aragon.
Can you hear her, David? Okay. We are here for the results of all of the evaluations that I ordered. This is an opposed application for probation. The agreement, the new case, the 4 to 200 case, is a cap of 6 to do. That's a first degree felony, and it's supposed to run concurrent with the MTR case. So this is an opposed application. Do you have any witnesses, state?
We do not, Your Honor.
State.
I'm sorry.
No, the state does not, Judge.
Okay, Mr. Garcia, do you have any witnesses?
We do not, Your Honor.
Have you had a chance to review the results of all of the evaluation with Ms. Aragon?
We did, Your Honor.
So is it just argument on the recommendation for safety?
I saw the recommendation for safety.
Okay, so is she prepared to do that?
I don't believe that's what she's seeking, Your Honor.
Okay, then go ahead, argument.
Your Honor, I'm used to standing, Your Honor. Should I-
Yeah, whatever you're comfortable with.
Okay, all right, I just want to make sure you, in every one of the considerations that during this whole period, I mean, she's been worried about her children and everything else, she's made some mistakes. But in different sections, right, as I was reading with her and, as I was reading the soul on my own, he's motivated for treatment. And that's the primary thing right now for her. She's going through CPS because, of course, her child was involved in this. And then she's working with them, and they've already talked about putting her on an outpatient rehab program that she told me about this morning. And she also went this morning, I had realized she was going to go for some kind of mental health evaluation. And I haven't seen, I don't know if it's the one they sent me. Yes, Your Honor, we just got that. But the thing is that she's working really, really hard to be able to recover. Sending her to prison right now, from my point of view. And I know Your Honor sees this every day, and people that come in and talk to the court about another chance and everything, but she's got a load with her care. She's got a history where she was physically abused. She's got a history that finally somebody, because they were low on money, the guy she was dating at the time that used to beat her up, one of them is now in prison. She's gone through, quite a few different relationships, and it's basically been a turnaround for her. And she's at a point right now where she's dealing it with a lot of stuff by herself. She has a boyfriend now who's more supportive than anybody else she's had, and she's got backup. you know? And so from somebody who's already gotten to the point where she's looking at the kids and thinking that now is the time where she leaves for a while and comes back, and the kids are really no longer as close as they could be right now and during this period as she recovers. So that is the most important thing from our point of view and from her point of view, to be given the chance to go through whatever treatment. At one point or another, I know the court also considered SATA here locally, and if that's an option that would satisfy the court and show the court that she's going to plan to stay clean, then we ask the court not to apply for, she's going to be sent out for about a year. She needs to be local, if possible. And if at all possible, we would request the court to consider an outpatient program, either working already directly with CPS, who's going to be working with her to make sure she takes care of his children, or some other method that the court can come up.
State.
Your Honor, the state does recognize, at least based on the narrative portion of the PSI, that she may have just given birth sometime this month, conceivably. I think she also has a 3-year-old. The other 3 kids that she has are older, roughly 15, 16, and 19 years of age. Judge, but the reason that the state is seeking 6 years TDCJ here is because of the fact that she had been placed on 2 years, as a court is well aware, Judge, been placed on 2 years deferred adjudication for possession under a gram. That happened on July 31st of 2019. And essentially in June of 2021, she picked up this case, Judge, and this case involves 3 grams, roughly a little over 3 grams of meth and 7 grams of heroin. So clearly one is in that 4 to 200 category with intent to deliver, because she admitted that the purpose of her going over to this residence to pick up these drugs, again, there's just over 7 grams of heroin and over 3 grams of meth, was that she could go and then make these drops. And that's a quote, making these drops regarding these drugs. She talked about not having a job, or at least needing the money, and therefore doing it for that reason. Knowing full aware, or being full aware, Judge, that she was on probation or community supervision, had conditions imposed by the court, and was still willing to take it upon herself to do this. So the state's position is that she essentially did not take this risk, knowing that it would maybe either amount to a slap on the wrist, if you will, meaning she took this risk thinking there would be no serious consequence, but she wouldn't get caught. And the state believes, Judge, that it's something that needs to be addressed with regards to the fact that she was making these drops. It's not so much an extension of drug abuse for her own personal addiction or benefit, if you will, but rather to further the drug trade, which, as the court knows, fosters all kinds of dangerous situations. And so it is this kind of contribution to the cancer, Judge, the toxins that exist in this community involving drugs, and trading or dealing in the sale of drugs and narcotics, that the state is seeking these 6 years. Again, not caught with a amount that was under a gram, but with serious amount, with heroin especially, that she admitted to making these drops and essentially furthering the trade and transactions of narcotics. That's the state's position, Your Honor.
Did you want to say something?
What did I order your client to do while she was free on bond with regards to the probation case? Did I order her to report, Bianca? You're gonna need a Zoom mic.
Yes, Judge, you ordered weekly
Nope,
reporting.
hang on, you need a Zoom mic.
It's not connected.
That's a Zoom mic. Can you hear her, David?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Judge, you ordered weekly reporting and weekly UAs.
And did she do the weekly reporting and weekly UAs?
She was weekly reporting. There was an issue with UAs. On one instance of the weekly UA, her baby was sick, so she needed to take the baby to the doctor. On another instance, she reported to her officer that she had COVID-like symptoms. The officer ordered her to get tested. No results have been provided to see if she was tested.
I have the results.
Okay, give the results to the probation officer, and I want you to give a UA. We're gonna, I ordered a UA weekly for a reason. So you're not helping yourself. Give a UA right now. We're gonna take a recess.
Your Honor, may I briefly go back to the breakout room? I just need a couple of minutes.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Judge, do you have a second?
Yes, ma'am.
On Timothy Ryan, I know we just reset to February. I just want to let the court know, I emailed Hector Nunez, the district, the clerk in the MAG clerk, and he sent me a copy of the competency evaluation. I was able to read it. He has been found, he is incompetent, so they're just setting a date to do the incompetency and then send him off so he can possibly get restored. So I just wanted to let the court know.
Okay. So, but there is gonna be some sort of restoration, right?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
We can go forward to work it out. All right, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Jessica, for some reason, in Aragon's PSI packet, the plea bargain page is missing.
I'll take it to you, Judge.
And nothing is scanned. Yeah, like that page is missing it, but this looks like it's already been volumed and indexed. So what's the deal with that? Oh, weird. Yeah, that one was missing. Denise, can you do me a favor, or Luis, can you check if the night mag on Aragon has already been dismissed, or if you guys sent me the dismissal?
Do you know who did the,
Gretchen, I'm trying to see if I can pull it up.
okay.
Judge, when you say the night mag, do you have a number, Your Honor?
617157.
Yes, Judge, that case is closed out. According to our system,
Okay, so I signed the dismissal already.
yes, Your Honor, it was dismissed on September the 9th.
Yep, the day of the plea.
It's closed in the JD system, Judge.
Okay, thank you. What's? What? Are we ready on Barcena?
Judge, I just needed to finalize something with Mr. Echeverria just for a second. Can we have a breakout room for like a minute?
Yep. Yeah. Yes, I got it. Okay. What? I'm muted and off the camera. Ask me again. you guys to mute me until I ask you to. Mr. Kimbrough, I don't have the plea paperwork for Ms. Hernandez. I just have Ashley's and I have the discovery, but I don't have,
It was all signed and I sent it over. She said she signed it and sent it in last night or this morning. I think it was this
okay,
morning.
well, clerks, do you have it? If you don't have it, Louise needs to check on it.
We signed it earlier this morning, Judge, and she's been sworn.
Hold on, let me refresh my email. I just got it. Okay, let's do the plea. Denise, can you do the plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. There were a couple, there was at least one point that I talked to Luis about, so that's fine, but I just want to let you know there's something he was gonna put on the record, so.
And what was he gonna put on the record?
That you have no objection to early termination,
Okay,
No objection to what? I'm sorry.
early termination, if she completes the necessary.
yeah.
program.
Terminations just go by me. They don't go by the state.
Okay.
It's just me and probation. I have a guy who I told him, if you get everything done, I don't need to supervise you. And he took me on it and he finished in 7 months. I just terminated him.
that's quick.
Good.
Yeah. He finished everything in 7 months. Full paid, full upfront, everything.
So when we do the plea, can you tell my client that? That'll motivate her.
Yeah, I will. Let's go on the record. Where is your clients?
She's in a waiting room, so I guess she has to be brought in.
Let me,
I'm not sure which one. Let's see if I can figure out. It's
she's coming. She's not seeing my alert to come back.
I can call her.
Can you go back there, Brian, and get her?
Yeah, sure.
We're going on the retaliation, Denise.
Yes, ma'am, and we're TIC in the other case, correct?
Yes, and just so you can see the agreement.
TIC in both harassments.
Mhm.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Recommendation of four.
For deferred, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks, Judge.
Mhm. Okay, Ms. Hernandez, unmute yourself, please. We're gonna go on the record on your case.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Oh, there you go.
Okay. Let's go on the record. This is cause number 2020 CR 10548, the state of Texas versus Clarissa Hernandez. Attorneys, please make your announcements for the record.
Denise Harris, for the state of Texas, Your Honor.
Brian Kimbrough from Mr. Hernandez.
Ms. Hernandez is appearing by video conference. Ms. Hernandez, I have your written agreement to proceed by video conference. That's still what you want to do, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
State your full name for the record.
My name's Clarissa Michelle Hernandez.
On the screen, I have the true bill of indictment that was filed in your case. It alleges the offense of retaliation alleged to have occurred August 26, 2020. Do you understand the charge that you have this morning?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
You have several cases, but we're going to proceed on this one. This is a third-degree felony. It is punishable by confinement in the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, the institutional division, for any period between 2 and 10 years confinement. It also carries a possible fine of up to $10,000. Do you understand the range of punishment that applies?
Yes, ma'am.
You have the right.
Take the phone outside, let's go.
You have the right to a jury trial. You have the right to cross-examine the witnesses against you. You also have the right to remain silent. Those are your constitutional rights. Do you understand those?
Yes, ma'am.
I have a document on the screen called the Court Admonishments that explains all your rights to you. Did you go over that with your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand that when you sign this document, what you're telling me is you want to give up those rights? Is that what you intend to do?
She froze.
Yeah, I think she froze up. I'll wait for her to get back on, Brian.
And Your Honor, I am back, so I can handle the plea.
Okay.
Thank you, Denise.
Oh my God, she froze. Okay. All right.
Looks like
said
she
that it
fell off.
It kicked her out, but now it's saying it's connecting. So,
It's her internet.
yeah, bad signal. She's trying to reconnect. Yeah.
She was the one that was on yesterday that was visiting her child, is right?
Yeah.
Right. But she's at work. I don't know where she works, or specifically what the building is like, so I know she's at work.
I will give her a few minutes. I'll move on to another case.
Okay, that's fine.
You ready, Mr. Aldape?
Yes, Your Honor.
Jessica, you can come get some of these files. They've all been reset.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. I lost connection.
All right, we're gonna try it one more time, but if you lose connection, I have to ask you to come to the courthouse, okay? Let's go back on the record. We're back on the record on Clarissa Hernandez. Ms. Hernandez, on the screen, I still have the same document up. Go ahead and unmute yourself. Earlier I explained your constitutional rights to you and asked you if you understand them, and you said yes. And I started to ask you if you understand that by signing this document, what you're telling me is you're going to give up your rights. Is that what you intend to do today?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this your electronic signature above the word Clarissa defendant? Is that your electronic signature?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Are you a citizen of the United States?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Now it's getting noisy, so I'm going to mute you. If you were not a citizen, I'm still required to tell you that a plea of guilty or no contest to this charge could result in deportation, exclusion from admission to the country, or denial of naturalization under federal law. Ms. Hernandez, are you satisfied with the representation of your attorney?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Kimbrough, does your client have a rational and factual understanding of the proceedings against her?
I want a tissue so I can grab that piece of avocado.
You're muted, Brian.
Yeah, she does.
Has she been able to assist you with the preparation of any defenses?
Yes,
In your opinion, is she mentally competent to waive her rights and enter into a plea?
she is, Your Honor.
I will accept the waiver of rights and make it part of the record. Ms. Hernandez, on the screen, I have the plea bargain agreement that you made in this case. The agreement calls for a recommendation of deferred adjudication for a period of 4 years. There's a $500 fine. The state is going to dismiss the 2 other cases you have pending, the harassment of a public servant and then a misdemeanor harassment case. Part of the conditions of your probation will include that you take your medication as prescribed. We're going to do a TAP evaluation, 120 hours community service. We're also going to do a mental health evaluation, and you have to write a letter of apology. I'm assuming that these are the 3 different complainants in your case. That's Roland Rodriguez, Kareem Mazoum, Mahzoon, and Matt McNeely, McNeely. Is that your understanding of the agreement?
Yes, ma'am. So I have to write an apology letter for all 3 of them?
Yes, you do.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
yeah, I believe so. Yeah, we actually had only talked about one for Mr. Officer McNeely. I don't know how the other 2 came in, but
Your Honor, if I may just say briefly, Roland Rodriguez, Officer Roland Rodriguez is the complainant in this retaliation case. Kareem Mazoon was injured on his head by something that the defendant had in her backpack. It doesn't indicate in any of the police reports, Judge, that was intentional, but he did sustain a head injury. I presume the officer is fine. That is, that it required no hospitalization of a serious kind. And Matt McNeely, Your Honor, is a fire department official. He was spit on, but the spit didn't hit him in his face. It hit him closer to the boot. And that's the reason we're taking that case into consideration, Judge. So those are the 3 different persons that were on the receiving end, if you will, of the defendant's behavior.
Is that your understanding of the agreement, Ms. Hernandez?
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Kimbrough, is that your understanding?
yes,
State, is that your understanding?
It is, Your Honor.
Ms. Hernandez, what is your plea to the charge of retaliation? Is it guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No content.
Are you entering a plea of no contest because you have talked about this matter with your attorney and you believe this is in your best interest?
No, ma'am.
No, you don't think this is in your best interest?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am. I do believe it's just in my own interest. I'm sorry.
Are you doing this freely and voluntarily?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Has anyone forced you to enter a plea?
No, ma'am.
Has anyone offered you anything in exchange for your plea?
No, ma'am.
I will accept the plea of no contest. I find the plea is voluntarily made and ask the state to tender its proof.
The state offers State's Exhibit 1 and all attachments pending any objection from defense counsel.
no objection.
State's one is admitted. Mr. Kimbrough, are you satisfied the state complied with Article 3914 in this case?
I am.
I will sign the discovery acknowledgement and make it part of the record. Give me just a few minutes to read the evidence. Can we check on Aragon and see if she's ready to do something? Let's go back on the record on Clarissa Hernandez. I need you to sit down. I need you to find a place to sit, Ms. Hernandez. This is the most important part of this today. Because I've read the facts and I'm not super excited about them. I do find the evidence is sufficient to substantiate your guilt. I will make no other findings. I'm going to grant the application for deferred adjudication for a period of 4 years. There's a $500 fine. The state is going to dismiss 2020 CR 10547 and County Court 677148. Luis, I don't have those dismissals. Please tender them to me. You're going to take your medication as prescribed as part of your conditions of probation. While the evaluation for your mental health is while we're waiting for it, I want you to see an officer in person every week who can confirm that you are in fact, no, don't roll your eyes at me. You know what? You're already getting started on the wrong foot. Don't roll your eyes at me. You could have killed yourself. You could have hurt somebody on a public roadway and it would not have been their fault. So you're going to see somebody every week. And I want to make sure that you're taking your meds, because if you don't, there's another way to handle it.
Your Honor, just so you know, she is not currently seeing a doctor. So
I
she
know.
doesn't
I
have
will.
any meds. She doesn't have any
Well,
meds. And
we're going
that's what
to
she needs to
get right on it. I
Yeah,
am trying to put her to the front to get right on it. I'm going to make a referral to the Center for Healthcare Services while she's awaiting the DDRF and the TAP evaluation. The 120 hours are going to be held in abeyance. I need her to get medicated. I need her to get evaluated. I need her to see a high-risk officer every week and screen her for MIG-MIOF. I want you to write those 3 letters of apology. You're going to get the information on those 3 letters of apology. This is a plea bargain case. I did follow your plea bargain agreement. So what that means is you do not have a right to appeal. Do you understand? Ms. Hernandez, I need you to answer me.
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
I need you to go into a breakout room with probation so she can give you all of your instructions.
Your Honor, I did tender the 2 dismissals. Judge, do you have them?
I do now.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, we're off the record on this case.
Well, Your Honor, I wanted to raise one more point before we get off.
Yes.
I wanted to ask if you would consider probating the fine to see how she does. She is employed, but it's a low-income job. And I think that her primary focus should be on her mental health and whatever costs that entails, and not be concentrating on the money issue. So I just wanted to raise that.
I won't do it at this point, Mr. Kimbrough, because it's so low. But I frequently get reports. Once the probationers are on probation, I frequently get reports about how they're performing. And if I see that the fine is an issue, I usually work it out where they don't have to pay it. But I need her to be responsible and try her best. And then if it doesn't work out, then I don't mind probating those fees at a later date. But I just need her to really get on top of the situation.
And I know that Mr. Echeverria indicated that he had no objection to her applying for early termination. I just wanted to put that on the record as well.
Yes, sir. Thank you. She's in the breakout room with probation.
Oh, okay. Thought she was there. All right.
No, she's in the breakout room. If you want to go there, I can put you there.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank you.
I'm just going to move you over to number 7.
Okay.
Oh, you know what, Jody, I need his file. The clerks, you're going to have to go tell the clerks. And then we could do that one really quick. Are you ready on Barcena?
Yes, Your Honor.
It's an opposed application, not yet.
Barcena's opposed, Your Honor?
Oh, I'm sorry. I think it's a recommendation.
It's
2/1. She has those 2 misdemeanor cases pending. What are you guys going to do with those?
Judge, Mr. Aldap and I conferred, and if she agrees to, the recommendation is DDRF. That's posed in the mental health evaluation. It's also alluded to in the PSI. And if she agrees to that, Judge, it's my understanding that she has, the state will take those cases into consideration. I'll tender those dismissals, Judge, on those 2 misdemeanors.
Mr. Aldape?
That's correct, Judge. I actually had a couple of conversations with Ms. Barcena, and she understands that she needs mental health treatment. We received the mental health assessment. She's got a number of different problems. This was the case where she left custody when she was in her third trimester in court, and it was this whole big deal. I asked her what happened, and I can get into the elocution at sentencing, or we can do it now.
Oh,
But
let's,
basically,
if the answer is not a straight yes, then let's go ahead and go on the record.
oh no, the answer is a yes. She wants treatment, Judge. Yes.
Okay, then let's go on the record, please.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. Let's go on the record, please. This is cause number 2021 CR 2239, the state of Texas versus Veronica Barcena. Attorneys, please make your announcements for the record.
Yes, Your Honor. Luis Echeverria for the state of Texas.
Jaime Aldape for Veronica Barcena.
Ms. Barcena is appearing by video conference from the Bexar County Jail. Go ahead and tell me your full name, ma'am.
Veronica Ashley Barcena.
Back on June the 14th, 2021, you signed a consent to plea by video conference. Do you still want to go forward on this through Zoom?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We're here for the results of all of the evaluations I ordered. The DDRF, which you met criteria for, and the TAP evaluation. This is a recommendation, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
2/3.
That's correct.
All right, so the DDRF evaluation does recommend residential treatment. That's what I'm prepared to order. And does either side want to argue?
Your Honor,
No, Your Honor.
in light of the agreement, Judge, the state will waive its argument.
Mr. Aldape?
No argument. We're just asking for the court to follow the agreement.
Okay. Bianca. Can you ask Bianca to? I'm going to sentence Barcena if you want to take notes. Ms. Barcena, back on June 30th, I accepted your plea of no contest to the offense of driving while intoxicated with a child passenger under the age of 15. I found the evidence was sufficient to substantiate your guilt. So I will find you guilty of that offense, driving while intoxicated with a child passenger under the age of 15. And I will sentence you pursuant to your agreement to 2 years confinement in the state jail facility. That is going to be suspended. You're going to be placed on probation for 3 years. There's a $1,000 fine. The state is going to take into consideration several cases: the driving while license invalid, JN 198649, the evading arrest or detention 664568, and there's one more, the the escape 664569. And then Mr. Echeverria and Mr. Aldape, I also have that this is going to run concurrent with 636-460 and 648-591. Have you taken care of those cases, Mr. Aldape?
Not yet. It's my understanding that as soon as we're done in the 226, I'm going to do a JSAT because she has 214 days credit, Judge.
Okay, what are those cases?
Your Honor, I can give you that information.
Yeah.
Cause number 636460 is a DWI in County Court 9. And the cause number 648591 is a Class B misdemeanor theft, 100 to 750, also in County Court 9.
Can you double check that JN 1984649 is closed?
It is, Your Honor. The driving
you.
while license invalid was dismissed on July the 1st of last year.
Okay.
Closed case, Judge.
As part of your conditions of probation, Ms. Barcena, you're also going to complete a victim impact panel live and a parenting class, as well as a DWI intervention. I will sign the dismissals that were tendered this morning. Ms. Barcena, this is a plea bargain case, and I did follow your plea bargain. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm also going to order DDRF residential with mixed supervision afterwards. This is a plea bargain case. I did follow your plea bargain agreement. You do not have a right to appeal. I need you to go into a breakout room with probation, and she's going to get all of the paperwork that you need signed. Mr. Aldape, she can't get screened medically for DDRF until all those cases are settled. So if you don't mind getting those taken care of.
I will, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Good to see you, Jaime.
Good to see you, Judge. Maybe excuse, Your Honor.
Yes.
Have a good one.
Bianca, when you get a chance, can I talk to you about a case?
Denise, I'm gonna join you in your breakout room.
Travis,
Yes, Judge.
I wanted an opportunity to tell you that his grandmother is here today as well. And he has been diagnosed with anxiety and depression in the past and PTSD that have not been treated. These mental health issues, we believe, are causing him to self-medicate. What our plan is, and we've talked with Travis, is about using, he's 21 years old. His mom has a good job at Toyota with great insurance, about getting him not only assessed for the mental health issues and getting those addressed so that he will stop self-medicating for some of these issues. But I think it's got multiple factors that are playing in, and until he identifies the problem, it commits to the solution and starts working the plan, which is what I've talked to him about. I wasn't the attorney on the original case. I came into this as a result of this MTR or motion to adjudicate. But I do think that he is ready. And I know that that's hard sometimes because we're like, we've given you so many chances. But at this point, I think he really needed a stern talking to. And not only did he need a stern talking to, but the family also needed to be on board, because I've talked with them and they were admittedly potentially enabling him by not getting him the help that he needed. He had been on medication before for depression and anxiety. And the problem with it is that it makes him feel foggy and there's a lot of complications with it. But the reality is that we can't ignore the problem. And that's what I talked to his family about. Just ignoring it or not refusing to take the medication is not the solution. We have to keep working to find a solution so he's not self-medicating at this point with marijuana. So I just want to give you some background, Your Honor, that it's not that we're not taking it seriously, but I think there need to be some education, not just for the defendant, but also for the family. And they're here today on his behalf as well and are ready to be part of the solution at this point as well.
so do you know what your officer wants me to do? Your officer wants you to go to jail today and send you to residential treatment. That's what your officer is recommending. So there's that option, right? And then there's the option where I reset you for about 90 days. You get your affairs in order and you show me that you understand that you're on deferred for a second-degree felony where I can hit up to 20 years in prison.
Yes, ma'am.
So which option do you prefer?
Number two.
No, you want number one. Number two, you want time to show me that you're serious.
Yes, yes, ma'am. Your Honor, Your Honor.
All right, I'm gonna recall the warrant. I'm gonna reset you for 90 days. And what we're gonna do is I still want you tested.
Yes, ma'am.
I need to see the levels going down and I need you to be accountable. Just, that's all.
Your Honor, may I also ask that if we are able to get him to an inpatient to address some of his mental health and substance abuse issues, that we just file a motion with you to get permission for him to.
Because if that's the case, Jody, we can just come back and formally adjudicate the MTR and send him on his way to treatment.
Well, and I appreciate where you're coming from, but I do think that they have insurance. And I think that putting him in custody just ratchets up the very anxiety. And
no, I'm not going to put him in custody. I'm just saying come back and enter a plea and we'll amend the conditions to send him on his own private insurance treatment.
Okay.
So the MTR doesn't have to be open and lingering.
I understand.
So I'll give him for now 90 days to get all of that squared away. But if it happens sooner, I want you in treatment sooner. I don't want you to be out there without the proper medication, without the proper help. I just want you in treatment. I have options on my end.
So for clarification purposes, I mean, does he have permission though to go on his own to inpatient during this 90 days if he needs to through his health insurance?
If it's going to be 90 days or less, yes.
Oh,
because I don't need to see him. But if it's going to be, if it's 30 days, go.
Okay. I just want to make sure that we were on the same page, that we weren't violating anything that you're asking him to do in that 90-day period.
Bianca, can I see you up here? We're going to reset him to April. I'm going to recall the warrants. Jessica, I need you to recall the MTR warrant.
Yes, Judge.
Reset to April the 28th on the MTR. I want him to test every 2 weeks with his probation officer. I want her to have eyes on him. However, I have authorized him to go to residential treatment for 30 days if his insurance approves it. So during that time, obviously, don't expect him. That's what we're gonna do for today. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. for your
You're
time.
welcome.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Can you give this back to probation?
Yes.
Have a seat so that we can recall the warrant and sign a reset.
It's been recalled, Judge.
Thank you. Yeah, come on up.
Judge, the probation has filed a motion to withdraw, so I just needed to ask the court to recall the warrant.
I thought
Yeah, you signed it, but I just.
If I signed it, did you recall the warrant on Mr. Smith,
I don't
Jessica?
know if they knew.
What's that case number, Judge?
Bianca, did I sign the withdrawal?
It's 2018 now.
Oh, did you take this to the back? Oh, can you take this, somebody take this to the back? The MTR has been withdrawn, so please recall the warrant.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
I need to get Leyha started because I have to get off in an hour. I have an important call I have to take. So let's get ready to go on the record on that one.
Judge, I'm done with all my cases. I will see you this afternoon.
Yes, ma'am, thank you.
Thank you.
Judge, as I recall, I gave you a copy of the,
No.
Okay.
I think you kept it.
Thought-
I'll check. I mean, it's a pretty
Let me-
big stack, but I'll check. Yeah, because I told you to mark it and make it part of the record. I don't have it.
Okay. Do you want to read? I don't know if you want to look at it beforehand or.
Yeah, there's no objection. We can just get it on the record and I start looking at it. Okay, let's go. David, you ready to go on the record?
For Leyha. Are we doing Leyha?
Mark.
Let's go on the record. This is cause number 2020 CR 5905. The state of Texas versus Matthew Leyha. Attorneys, please make your announcements for the record.
Same laws for the state, Your Honor. Martin Getta, attorney for Matthew Leyha, ready.
Mr. Leyha is appearing in person in the courtroom. Go ahead and tell me your full name.
My name is Matthew Anthony Leyha.
Okay, you entered a plea of no contest back on October the 4th, 2021, proceeding on count 1. Aggravated sexual assault of a child. The agreement is for a cap of 12 years, $1,500 fine. The state is silent on your application. Chapter 62 compliance, no contact with the victim in this case. Since that time, I ordered the PSI, the DDRF, and the TAP evaluation. Mr. Leyha, Mr. Guerra, have you had a chance to review all those?
I have, Your Honor.
Do you have any objections to any of the PSI?
One minor correction to the PSI, Your Honor.
Okay, go ahead.
In the PSI on page 8, it does state that he is not taking any of his medication. That's incorrect, Your Honor. At the time of the surgery in 2016, he was instructed to stop his medication. But since then, and for quite some time since the surgery in 2016, he has been seeing a psychiatrist, and he's been regularly taking 2 medications, Your Honor.
Okay. Anything else?
No other corrections, Your Honor.
Do you have any witnesses, Mr. Guerra?
Your Honor, I do have one witness, and also I previously tendered to the state a copy of a psychological evaluation of Mr. Leyha.
Can I have just a quick minute? Diego?
Diego.
You can come around. Give me just a minute. All right, let's go back on the record. I need you to help me enable the camera on the TV again. Mr. Guerra, I had asked you if you had any witnesses.
You're gonna have one witness. Miss Monica Murillo.
Leyha, okay, come on up.
Bring your stuff.
Can you please raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this cause shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Go ahead, Mr. Guerra.
Miss Murillo, would you please state your full name for the record?
Monica Lan Murillo.
And would you explain your relationship to Matthew Leyha?
He's my son.
Okay, and have you always been the primary caretaker?
Yes.
Would you go ahead and describe who lives in your household?
It's me, my son Matthew Leyha, and my son recently moved in, my older son, Ray Garza.
And since you've been the primary caretaker, can you describe Matthew's medical condition? I mean, were there any issues that arose in his childhood?
He's been seeing psychiatrists, doctors, and special doctors since he was 5 years old.
Since 5?
Yes.
Okay, and what was the reason, what prompted you to take him to those doctors?
Matthew, he's not like us. He doesn't understand a lot of his mentality is not like a normal 24-year-old. His mentality is lower than ours. His understanding is not as great as ours.
But what happened when he was 5 years old that prompted you to start taking him to doctor?
They noticed that he was barely speaking. His words weren't right, so they sent him to speech therapy, and he started seeing a psychiatrist.
Now, when he started seeing a psychiatrist, were they able to prescribe any medications?
No, he was too little.
I'm sorry, you said he was?
He was too young.
Oh, too young.
Yeah.
And did they have an idea of what was happening or what was going on?
They didn't know what was his status at that point. They started doing testing on him to see what was going on with him.
When he entered school, was he at his grade level or were there issues with that?
No, he wasn't. He was in a special need program and he wasn't at his right level.
And so that was, you're talking about his educational, his intellectual level. What was it like in terms of him socializing or getting along with others his age?
He shut down. He wouldn't speak to a lot of people. He kept himself isolated.
Now, how long did he see the psychiatrist?
He's been ongoing since he was 5, going on 6. He started seeing more psychiatrists and like people that helped them express themselves. And he was put in a program during the school when he was in school.
And this continued through middle school and high school?
Yes, until he graduated.
Now, did something, there was a time when he needed surgery?
Yeah, for his ear, for his brain.
What symptoms was he showing that prompted you to take him to a doctor and have surgery?
He would get real bad headaches. He would cry because of the pain in his right side and his leg. And they said it was growing pains, but then they figured out later on in life, like they still didn't know that he had issues with the brain until he was about 15. They figured out that he had pressure in his head from the, I forgot the name of it, in the cranial area.
Okay, so at that point, he wasn't just seeing a psychiatrist. Did he have a neurosurgeon?
Yeah, he had a neurosurgeon.
And so that surgery was performed. Do you remember when that surgery was performed?
It was performed at University Hospital
When was that?
in October
Of what year?
2016.
Now, at that time, was he still exhibiting, I guess, intellectual challenges?
Yes, he's been like that his whole life.
And the same things in terms of his socialization with others?
Yes,
Did he have many friends?
no,
Or did he have any friends?
not really. He stays isolated. I would keep him at home. Like he doesn't go anywhere alone.
And so describe to me, I guess, just his routines, his habits. I mean, is he able to take care of himself?
On a day-to-day, no. He has to be reminded to take a shower, to take his medication, to cooking. He's not allowed to cook. He almost burned down the house twice.
And how does he respond to stress?
He shuts it down. He has really bad anxiety attacks, so he doesn't do good with stress.
And are there certain things that make his stress level worse? Like certain environments?
Him being in a closed, secluded area makes his anxiety really bad, and he starts getting little panic attacks.
How many doctors does he have right now?
Right now, he sees his neurosurgeon, he sees the ENT, and he sees his regular PCP. And he's waiting to see another psychiatrist.
And how many medications is he on?
Right now, he's on one for the depression and anxiety.
And any others, or are there?
He's gonna start taking Focalib 15 milligram, that's for the ADHD.
And all of these doctors he still sees on a regular basis?
Yes.
Now, has he expressed any regret since this incident happened in 2020?
Yes, he has,
And how do you know that? Or what has he done?
because he shuts down and he tells me that he cries and he kind of, I don't know how to say it. He's depressed about it and he has regrets about it.
Does he have, does he have a phone?
No, ever since this happened, he doesn't get on anything. He don't have a computer, he don't have a phone. He doesn't talk to nobody. He only has one friend that comes to the house.
I mean, has he expressed a desire to get on any social
no.
media?
No, he's afraid to.
And has he expressed any desire to get on a laptop, tablet, phone?
No.
I mean, do you think that given everything that's happened in the past 2 years, do you think that he's at risk for doing this again?
No, he's never done this. This is the first time this has ever happened.
Given his, which you know as his mother, and given his intellectual limitations and his physical and his mental health. I mean, what effect do you think being locked up in a prison setting would do to him?
I don't think it would be good for him. In little places, he doesn't do well. We can't go to big places because he has panic and anxiety attacks. Him being in a small secluded place, it wouldn't be good for his mental status.
And now, if he's given probation, where will he continue to live?
With me.
Since this incident happened, has he been supervised by pretrial services?
Yes,
And how does that work?
he reports with them either by telephone or we do the video Zoom every month.
And this has been going on for about 2 years.
Yes,
Have there been any issues with him reporting?
no,
Now, if the judge were to give him probation, a deferred adjudication probation, there would be some strict requirements. I mean, are you going to be able to assist him with that?
We're gonna take a 5-minute break. Are we ready on Barcena? You can take a 5-minute break, go walk outside. She's done? Okay. Okay. Let's bring her back out here. I'm sorry, yes. Okay, I need that done, please. No, we can just proceed to sentencing, get her attorney. Mr. Garcia, we can proceed. She's not gonna do it. Mhm. On the bench. On the bench. I'm still back here. Luis, you're on Barcena on Aragon, right? Let's go
Yes,
on the
Your Honor.
record.
Yes, Judge.
Just come on up here. Diego, we can handle this one at the bench. Just bring the mic. What are we doing with the MTR? I mean, I haven't entered any pleas for her. Is she gonna pick one? She's gonna enter a plea of true or what?
Your Honor, I have not discussed.
Well, it's supposed to run concurrent, but I'm ready to move forward. So I just need someone to read. If you can just read a violation so she can enter a plea.
Okay, Judge, absolutely.
All
Well,
right.
it'll be the same as this one here.
So just for purposes of the record, I'm going to transition to the MTR. That's 2018 CR 0255. Ms. Aragon, the state filed a motion to enter adjudication of guilt and revoke your community supervision. State, go ahead and read your violation.
Violation condition number 1, on or about the 3rd day of June 2021 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Julia Anastasia Aragon committed the offense of possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, in violation of condition number 1.
Is that true or not true? True. State.
The state moves to waive and abandon all the other violation allegations, Judge.
All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find this violation to be true. I'm going to deny the state's motion to revoke, and I'm going to terminate this case unsatisfactorily. I'm ready to go on to the other case. With regards to 2021 CR 8179, I did hear argument on both sides of this opposed application. I have considered the results of the DDRF and the TAP evaluation. And just for purposes of the record, she did not meet criteria for the DDRF. So mental health concerns are nothing that should be interfering with her ability to go to rehab. So this is the bottom line, Ms. Aragon. You've tested dirty. You were on deferred. You were out delivering drugs or picking up drugs or whatever it was you were doing. When the street crime officers follow you, you're already a target. They've already been watching you for some time. They don't just randomly pick people to watch. So you were either dealing or buying to deal. It doesn't matter to me, but you have a drug problem. You were testing dirty for opiates. You have an opiate substance abuse problem. Your baby was born with opiates. Thankfully, your baby is fine now from what I read. He's in foster care. He's being taken care of along with all your other children. So your baby and your children, not really what I'm focused on today. You is what I'm focused on today. You need to get on the right path. And I'm sending you to rehab today. And I hope that that's what's going to get you into the straight and narrow. And everyone that I send to rehab leaves through that door kicking and screaming and in disagreement. But not once in 4 years have I gotten a letter back saying that was the biggest waste of my time. Not once. But if after you go there, if this is the biggest waste of your time, then let me know. But you're going to SADF. You're going to go to residential treatment. That's where you need to go. Do you understand me? Yes, you have to answer out loud for the record.
Yes.
All right. So with this case, I'm going to grant the application for deferred adjudication for a period of 6 years. The state has already dismissed Night Mag 617157. As part of the conditions of deferred, you're going to attend the residential treatment at SADF. If for whatever reason she doesn't medically qualify, I want to know immediately so I can send her somewhere else. You understand probation?
Yes, sir.
This is a plea bargain case. I did follow your plea bargain agreement, so you do not have a right to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
Hang on, I think there was restitution in your case also. Yes, $99 to the forensic center. So I'm ordering $99 in restitution. Okay, have a seat. You want to do her conditions out here?
Yes, on the MTR, did you want that as well?
No, I terminated on set.
Sorry to interrupt you.
I'm sorry. I didn't even look up. I apologize.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Garcia.
Your
You're
shoes?
excused. Yes.
My shoes are on?
Yes, you are. Where are we on Leyha?
You wanna go check this?
Diego? Hey, Shannon, do you need to approach?
I just have a bond that I need to get set. If I could, I can wait also.
Do that with me. I'll take a look at it. There must be something in the water. These are all the stuff, the things that I'm getting nowadays, driving while intoxicated. 9, extended for 2. It's very close to the finish line.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Your Honor, if I may approach, I'm also trying to set a bond.
Is that the 4 to 200 case?
Not on Camarillo, right?
Yes.
I know, it's sitting on my desk on purpose. I'm not gonna set it right now. I've done it before and he reoffended. So I need to review it.
Understood. Do you want me to ask for a hearing or just the type?
No, I mean, he's still entitled to bond. It's just going to be very high. But I haven't had a chance to review what I've done in the past, so probably this afternoon.
Understood, Your Honor. May I be excused?
Yes, thank you.
Thank you.
Mhm. Yeah, the 18 case was terminated on set. Ready?
Ready, Your Honor.
She was on the bench. Go ahead, Ms. Murillo. You can get back on the bench. On the witness stand, sorry. David, back on the record. Go ahead, Mr. Guerra.
Ms. Murillo, you'd mentioned depression and anxiety. What other diagnoses has he had from his doctors?
He has high functioning autism and he has MR. He has psychosis and the depression and the anxiety.
And we just took a brief break right now. You actually were able to see some physical symptoms as we sat here. I mean, can you describe what happened or why you think that happened?
It's just because of what's going on. He gets the anxiety and being in a place like this, a lot of people. So he just has little, I don't know if you would call them like attacks. It's just part of what he goes through.
And you mentioned his doctors. I mean, is he still under doctor's care? Is he still seeing doctors regularly?
Yes.
And you said there was an ear, nose, and throat doctor. What is he seeing for the ear, nose, and throat doctor?
He sees the ENT because when he was born with a flap over his ear. They had to restructure his whole ear. He doesn't have good hearing.
So he's hearing impaired. Does he have to have a hearing device at all?
They're trying to fit him for one. He's gonna get one now.
And you mentioned psychiatrist. Does he currently have one assigned?
He doesn't have one. We're waiting to see for the new one. He had one, but the appointment, because my phone was messed up, it actually like burned out. So they were doing only virtual, so he missed that appointment. So now we have to wait to get another one.
And he has a neuro specialist, neurosurgeon?
Yes.
And has anything happened recently regarding anything related to his brain or his brain imaging?
Yes, they did brain waves to see why he doesn't remember stuff on a day-to-day basis. And they said he has a lipoma where his brain is at, but he has to go see another doctor.
Okay, so his neurosurgeon referred him to another doctor.
Yes, he has to schedule an appointment on Monday.
Now, this today, of course, is the day when the judge is going to decide whether he's going to be sentenced or whether he's going to be receiving community supervision. I mean, is there anything that you would like to tell the judge personally about why he should be getting community supervision?
I think he should be getting it because he won't be able to go in a secluded area like that. And with all his doctors, if he misses his medication and his appointments, I don't think it would be good for him. And I mean, this has never happened. This is the first time he's ever done something like this.
And do you think, are you concerned about his medications if he were to be confined at TDC?
Yes, because if he missed it, he gets real bad anxiety, his medication, he has to have it.
Now, if he is given deferred adjudication, it could be for an extended period of time, even up to 10 years. I mean, do you think that he'll have a problem complying with those conditions?
No, he wouldn't have any problem. I make sure he does everything.
And you understand that if he's granted, he will still have to register as a sex offender.
Yes, I'm the one that told him to take that because I don't think it would be like him going into jail. It wouldn't mental status. And then him not being to the doctors that he's supposed to do, and now with like the lipoma and stuff, they gotta figure out, is it a lipoma or is it a tumor?
And so when he goes to this next doctor that he's been referred to, there's still not a clear-cut diagnosis about whether he has a tumor or not.
It's a lipoma, but they gotta do more detail, like I don't know if they can remove it. They don't know if they can remove it either. So that's why they're referring him to another doctor.
And so there's a possibility he still may have surgery in the future.
Yes.
No other questions, Your Honor.
Any cross?
Briefly, Judge.
Go ahead.
Mr. Maria, my name is Samuel Lyles. I'm a prosecutor for the state of Texas. I just have a few questions for you, okay?
Yes.
And I understand that Matthew's been going to doctors, you said since 5, right? So he's been under expert care essentially his entire life.
Yes.
And you looked after him, made sure that he was getting proper treatment, right?
Yes.
And he was actually able to graduate high school.
Yes.
You talked to Mr. Guerra about probation. Do you think that an adult who seeks out children online, has sex with them, is someone we want in our society walking in the streets?
No.
Are you aware that Matthew knew she was 12 years old?
Now I am aware of it.
No further questions, Judge.
You redirect?
Miss Video,
Mhm.
do you think that Matthew is a predator?
No.
Do you think that he's someone that is going to try and get on social media to meet anybody else?
No, he hasn't. I mean, I don't understand why he did it this time, but he's never done that before.
Has he expressed to you whether or not he's, I mean, I think you already said it before, he's afraid of social media. What do you mean by that?
Because of what happened now.
And so does he even want to get on social media?
No, he doesn't.
Does he want to get onto any type of electronic devices?
No.
Does he ever want to go anywhere where there's children?
No.
Does he ever want to go or tell you that he wants to be around other people?
No, he doesn't like being around other people.
So do you think there's any risk this will happen again?
No, this won't happen again.
That's what.
Anything else?
No question, Judge.
Any other witnesses?
No other witnesses, Your Honor.
Okay. Let me see the attorneys up here. You can have a seat now. Thank you. David, can you hear me? Yeah, on. David needs to be able to hear you. I have some concerns about his competency, and I'm going to order a competency evaluation. Once that comes back and it's clear, it will give me a better understanding of his entire ability to understand what's going on, because I know you brought up he graduated high school, but I'm just not convinced that he is competent. And I would rather find that out before sentencing, not after sentencing. So he's on bond, he's going to stay on bond, but I need him to be screened for that. I'm going to call next door and see if anybody can come over here. I just don't think there's any reason to keep going forward. I mean, I know that your victim wants to make a victim impact statement, but I have to be absolutely careful. And that is the most important thing. Can you talk to your client and let me see if I can get someone here that can get the ball rolling with that?
Yeah.
All right, thank you. We're gonna go off the record. Oh, go ahead. On the record.
Ask if
we're okay to leave and have walk the victim back. For the day.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Thank you.
This is just my phone, by the way, I just got transferred to the wrong place.
We're just gonna step outside.
That's why I'm gonna be right up.
Are we done for lunch, Judge?
And someone's a little pushy for lunch today.
Hangry.
Yes, we're good. Go have
Okay.
some lunch.
All right, we'll see y'all after lunch.
Thank- For the morning, yeah. No. I'm just such